What is up, you guys? Welcome back. This is your host, Craig Paul Cox, and welcome back to Convos with Craig. I apologize for getting this episode back out to you guys later than expected. I wanted, just been a crazy week, but I'm trying to stay consistent. I'm trying to do weekly videos. I apologize for the screen. For those of you watching, is not the most clear image. But, eventually as we grow more, get a camera, different things like that. But that will only come if you subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. The Bible verse, for this episode is be of sober spirit, be on the alert, for your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It's been a crazy week so far, crazy couple weeks so far. I was out of town in St. Louis for Swing Nationals. It was a big martial arts event. It was a good time. It was a very good time. I'm very excited for, very excited for this, next few weeks to be kind of, chill, slow as we go along. And, I'm excited to do this again. And, next week we're going to have an episode dedicated, to Michael Jackson, celebrate the new Michael Jackson movie, which is he's one of my favorite artists to listen to. So I'm very excited for that. Then after that, we're going to have 2 weeks back-to-back. Will be the Star Wars specials. And some more stuff coming soon. So, we're going to begin with this episode. This one's going to be kind of more of a different type of format, as the last episode was definitely Disneyland theme. Next one's going to be Michael Jackson. Then next two after that's going to be Star Wars themes. This one's more kind of, I don't want to say random stuff, more like different types of themes, different types of stories. So we're going to start with the Convo Sports Corner for this episode. And we'll do this. Will Anderson is now one of the most high-paid players in the NFL. And rightfully deserved. In my opinion, he has been phenomenal on defense in Houston. And what he's been done to lead our defense too has been phenomenal. It's definitely something that he deserves when it comes to pay grade, like give the man his money like they did. So that's a big thing out of Houston right now. CJ Stroud, as of this recording, has not been offered anything past his rookie contract because this year was going to be his last year, I believe. Which makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, especially after, this is sweet tea, unsweet tea, actually. After his playoff performance, you just can't pay him. I mean, he cost the divisional round 3 years in a row. But also, we would have gone to the Super Bowl. We won that game. The path was so clear. Definitely was a big missed opportunity. We should have won that game. We really should have. But the Texans are learning. They'll seem to be making the right moves. I know we got the draft with this upcoming Thursday for Texans. Hopefully, my top picks, I want to get some linebackers, some O-linemen. It'd be good to have another receiver in the bank. Very interested in this draft. So hopefully Texans can make a splash. Texans can trade up, try to get someone, which would be nice to see. So I'll be sure to let you guys know my draft, thoughts and reviews. I won't be able to, do it live because I have work during that time. But as soon as I'm able to, I will give you guys my post-draft thoughts or thoughts during the draft. See, looking at my notebook right now. Don't mind me. Sorry about this. Just trying to get this in a little. There we go. Now that's the Houston side of things for football. Houston Rockets on the playoffs. The first game's tomorrow night as of this recording. The beginning of our series against the Lakers. Now, Lakers are going through some injuries. LeBron's, he's not young. Bronny doesn't even play really. So hopefully we are able to. It's my notebook. I'm just holding it as I talk. Hopefully we are able to win that series. We gotta win that series. Like, come on, y'all. Rockets, we gotta show them. We gotta show them what we need. We can go far. I think this team can. We just gotta have confidence in ourselves and just maintain, a good pace throughout the game. It's all about pacing. So I'm excited for that. The Anaheim Ducks, which is a hockey team I've been following a lot. They're in the playoffs too. Their first game is this Monday. Definitely been following them a lot recently. I had to say they're probably my second favorite sports team right now. And I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for the playoffs. Going against the Oilers, which is a team in Canada. The Ducks, I think, they can go all the way to the Stanley Cup. But the thing about it is they need to just not be better. They need to be better at defense. Sorry, I know I'm rambling right now, and I apologize if you're listening to this in podcast form with all the awkward pauses. But the Ducks need to play, stronger defense, especially because they lost a lot of their last games towards the end of this last season. So hopefully they are able to. They're correcting their things, or able to play more defense. Now wait to the last minute to get the points they need to win the game. That's what I want to see from the Ducks. I'll definitely keep you updated on the Ducks Rockets playoffs and the Houston Texans NFL draft throughout all of this week. And posting stuff on Instagram and all that fun stuff. If the Rockets and the Ducks go to the finals, we'll definitely do a special about that. And I'm just pausing on purpose because I just want to see, because I have my real theme for my podcast recording right now, and I'm just seeing how long my pauses are. So I'm trying to be better about it, about pausing. But Houston Astros, let's talk about the Astros. I mean, they're just walking and rolling, just very early on in the season. Just got to keep them, get a good momentum. And because that's going to carry on to the summer, definitely you want to continue to win those games, especially early on in the season in the MLB, because it's going to go a long way. You don't want to be last minute trying to get things going for that. I don't have too much to say about the Astros. I haven't been following them as much as I needed to. So we'll follow more. And also, one other thing before we end the Convo Sports Corner, Houston is getting a minor league hockey team, the Houston Bulls, in the fall. This is very exciting. So I hope I'm going to try to break opening game coverage for you guys, probably if I'm able to. Houston Bulls, invite me out. I'll be your announcer for the games. I will interview the players. Have your people get with my people. You have your managers and stuff. Get with Noah Marks, and I'll get down there to the Houston Bulls opener. We gotta make it happen, y'all. We gotta make that happen. That'd be cool. The Houston Gamblers. One more thing before we end. I forgot about the Gamblers, our UFL team. They are terrible. The Gamblers are terrible. We used to have a good team with the XFL Roughnecks, but then he got dissolved in the Morsel. Then the Gamblers took the Roughnecks name. Now they're back in the Gamblers name. It's just bad. They need to fix something immediately. But I hope the Gamblers will become good. I really want built to be a good spring football team like the Roughnecks, because I really followed them closely when they were a thing. But now the Roughnecks don't exist anymore. Now it's just the Houston Gambles. Which totally makes sense. I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense really, because you can't gamble in Texas. But I get why, like Old West gambling. I guess that's why they did it. I can see that actually. Yeah, that does make sense. But also at the same time, like you had Roughnecks as a name. Like the people were complaining. The Houston Roughnecks fans were complaining because they were using the Roughnecks name. They were complaining because the team took the Roughnecks name. It was terrible. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Now, the title of this episode is Psyduck. So we gotta talk about Pokemon. Psyduck is my favorite Pokemon. I just think it's hilarious when he says like Psyduck. That's my Psyduck impressive voice. Sorry for everyone who's listening to this in podcast form. Now, for Convo's movie reviews, I'm going to talk about the Detective Pikachu movie. Detective Pikachu is a movie that came out in the late 2010s. It starred Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. I love it. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised it didn't make as much money as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a lot of money. It made a good amount to warrant a sequel, but not enough that was groundbreaking when it comes to the movie. But overall, at first you're like, oh, why didn't they go with the original storyline of the animated series? Why are they going off of the video game Detective Pikachu? Which at first glance is wanted to think that, but when you watch the movie, you kind of see, okay, it would have been harder and more expectations be filled if they did the straight up Pokemon storyline. But by them doing Detective Pikachu, it gave them more leeway to how they could walk the story and structural things. And also, they did a great job with how they incorporated Ryan Reynolds, I feel like, as Pikachu. One thing we like by the movie is the design of the Pokemon. They are like Pokemon in real life. Like, they're not cartoony. They're not exactly scary, horrifying monsters. They are exactly like how they would look in real life. And they did a perfect job with that. Perfect job. There are some, down the sides of the movie, there are some cheesier parts. Not gonna lie. There are some parts that are a little, okay, what are we doing here? It gets a little cheesy. But I feel like it makes up for it with how they connect. I don't want to spoil too much of it. Well, the movie's almost 10 years old. I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, you probably don't really care about seeing it. It really connects the storyline of the son of the detective and Pikachu perfectly, man. It's a good movie. I'll give it like a 8 out of 10. Detective Pikachu. Be sure to check it out. And while we talk about Detective Pikachu, one thing I really am curious about is how come they haven't made another movie yet of it. Which, granted, it did make a lot of money. It's a good movie. It's not a perfect movie. Well, I guess 8 out of 10 is pretty high. I'll stick with it. It's Pokemon. It's fun. I mean, you're not going to see Pokemon to see groundbreaking cinema. You're going in to see Pokemon. The plot of the movie, it's a good mystery, but also it still is able to incorporate all the different types of Pokemon in the movie, which they could have easily gone sidetrack and done none of it or only rely on it. but they can do a good job of mixing the different Pokemon. When I say that, what I mean is you see a lot of Pokemon in it, but that's not the plot of the movie. Like, oh, check out this Pokemon, check out this one, check out that one. Like, there's actual good story, and the ones that sew up, it makes sense for the story. So, this is good. Back to what I was saying about the Pokemon movie, though. I'm surprised they haven't tried to do another one. Not just a sequel to this one, but another movie in general. But, we'll see what it is. Universal's we want to begin at Pokemon Land, put Eastern world around town. So we will see what's going to happen with all that. Hopefully all good things. And I keep on saying "and" a lot. As I'm recording and listening to this, I'm finding a lot of words. I repeat a lot. That's it. That's all I got for you guys when it comes to that movie. One thing I did want to talk about was how fix stuff, keeping with the Pokemon theme. I'm going to do 2 parts of how Crook Paw would fix it. First part is going to be, how would I fix Pokemon trading cards? You might say, Craig, what are you talking about? Pokemon trading cards are worth a lot of money. People collect them longer than you've been alive. What are you saying, dude? Like, what are you talking about? The thing is, it's hard to get. It's very, very hard to get. Because people are scalping Pokemons a lot to resell them and all that. Was, I'm okay with people reselling cards, reselling product. But I'm not okay with how people get crazy over it. What I mean by that is they will, as people are trying to, restock shelves, videos of them pushing people to try to grab a Pokemon card, different things like that. Reselling Pokemon cards is good, and it's fun, because it's a collectible item. I have no problem with that. But I do want to fix how reselling's done, because you gotta spend a lot of money to get the good stuff. And if you're a casual person that just does this as a side hustle, well, it's through whatnot. Check out Magic Card Awesome Shop or Pokemon Shop. You're trying to sell people unique cards that they can't just get anywhere. And that's the good type of reselling. Not that, hey, I'm going to buy out everything and not even open it, and you got to figure it out on your own. Hey, we have this pack, this is how much, you can make if we open it or don't open it. We have a specific card. It's different when you're doing it to provide a service and grow the Pokemon community, people doing whatnot whenever they resell, Magic Card does when he resells. And when people who own card shops, when they resell, they're trying to provide community, help people build their connections, and just have a good place where they can get and pick up and distribute cards. That's good. But to stop the people who are just doing it just for the sake of money, not community, and just buying everything inside, I would say is that Pokemon makes, to help drive the value of all the cards, less reprints of stuff, make every, card a little, make more Pokemon cards, but less of the same one. So that way, for the resellers who are doing a good job and trying to provide cards for people, they are able to provide a good service and to help. And for the bad scalpers who all they do is just buy thousands of dollars of stuff and prevents people who want to resell it just to distribute it, build a community, and while making a side hustle from it. or people just from being able to find cards in general, that it becomes less and less, so it can be more unified as a community. But that's my 2 cents of it. I mean, I don't know too much about the resale world. I just know I see a lot of meme videos of Pokemon scalpels a lot. But I would say is the fixed scalp. That's how I'll fix, Pokemon. That's how they can fix the scalpels and the resellers, because those are, like, for me, there was like a Pokemon vending machine by multiple grocery stores in my house, but they're always sold out, and I'm just a casual buyer. For people, again, who resell and whatnot, just to, do a little side hustle, and also try to provide unique cards, or if you're someone who doesn't have access to some of the big old Pokemon, boxes or things like that, you can help support a small creator and not have to pay a lot in shipping by buying some food, whatnot, or going to a card shop. They can't do that for you anymore if if people are buying it and selling it for 5 times the product. Like, if I'm trying to sell something and whatnot, I can't do that to help someone who lives like nowhere near anything like that, or any card shops, to try to buy something, or someone who does live near a card shop or want to buy something, but they want a specific pack, or even at sometimes card shops, depending on where you're at, you'll get a good deal, better deal at a card shop, or better deal or whatnot through Magic Card, depending on what it is. So I guess just provide more unique rates to help I don't even call like the resellers scalpels, because scalpels are people who, again, buy something and just jack up the price by like $500. That's what I mean. Something to help the resell, like be doing more things to help the resellers, like making more unique cards, providing more access, like for your whatnot creators, your card shops are able to provide cards for people who are wanting those connections and to help grow that community. That's my dance on Pokemon cards. It's a lot. But I know I said Magic Card like 20 times today. Check it out on whatnot. Great place to buy cards. Not just Pokemon, Star Wars, some little Wakanda, just the Disney cards, great things like that. So check out that. Another thing, now we'll kind of get a little away from Pokemon, is how Craig Paul will fix taxes. That's right, tax season's almost over with. I'm going to fix it for you, okay? I am taking care of your taxes. Simple thing. Let's get rid of income tax, IRS, and all that. If we just had it, everything's 10% tax on everything in the country, we won't need to file for income tax anymore. It would save the average American money, but at the same time, provide more money for the government. This is good. Both are good options, and I feel like that will work. That's just my opinion, though. I know some other people, politicians and stuff, who gave more detailed structure for that, on how that would be done, but that's my 2 cents. Is just get rid of income tax, get rid of the IRS, 10% tax on everything, bam. So that way, when we're buying cards to sell and whatnot, to be a reseller, we don't have to pay taxes on reselling our Pokemon cards. But that's just my 2 cents. So I'll fix it. So I know that one's kind of subtle and sweeter, but it just makes sense. I mean, so much money gets dumped into taxes, then you're like, oh, you gotta file your taxes. You gotta figure out how much you owe us. We know how much you owe us, but you don't tell us. You make this much money, but this much money's taken out of your paycheck. You got a tax return, but actually it's not what you return. It's just the money that was taxed from the government. Wait, so I'm 100% pay your taxes. Do it. I'm not saying don't pay your taxes. What I'm saying is, Just because we're doing stuff in a certain way doesn't mean it can't be done better. Exactly. But that's how Grandpa will fix taxes. That's how Grandpa will fix Pokemon reselling and scalping. How Grandpa will fix the problem with scalpels versus true good resellers. And granted, I'm not against reselling, stuff online. That's not the problem. I'm all for reselling Disney pins and Pokemon cards because people can't get unique cards. Like, it's hard if people are trying to find a unique card. They go to people who sell them at card shops or for whatnot. They're able to get it. Pin Trails, like Pin Pro, I believe is the name, or Pin HQ. It's by two ladies in Orlando. I forgot the name of it. But they resell Disney pins, and they do unique pins to help people complete their collection into trade. That's the good reselling. The bad type of reselling is when people buy the new pin for Mickey's Not So Scary. They bow the supply and they jack it up by $500. There's between making a profit and just trying to squeeze every single dime you can from people. And if we had a 10% income tax on that, it would help those small business people who do that type of stuff for a living out, because they don't have to, pay the IRS a whole lot of money, because it'll just be 10% tax on everything. And help them better when they file for stuff. I'm connecting the two. That's what we do on this podcast. Connections and all that. But anyway, I don't know. I just saw rambling on about selling and buying stuff. Now we are going to get into the next segment of this show, which is I want to go through all sports, how I will fix it, and movie review. Now, we're going to do something new in every show. A new segment. That should be announced by now. The Doomsday Countdown. This is an official segment. It's a temporary one for the show. But with just how hype I am for Avengers Doomsday, I gotta talk about it in every episode because so many updates are going to be happening as we get closer to the film. So, more like towards the end of every episode, I try to talk a little bit about Avengers Doomsday. I mean, that's why we're in the Avengers hat. I thought the trailer was going to drop this weekend because CinemaCon happened and they showed the trailer, they showed footage. But nothing happened, at least to the public. Some stuff leaked online, but it's just images and clips and descriptions. The whole Avatar: The Last Airbender new movie coming out got leaked online, but not one person was able to leak the Avengers trailer. I really hope they drop the trailer soon. It is just the hype behind it. Just because we know the story, we know what's gonna happen. It's gonna set up secret worlds. But at the same time, we don't know the story. We don't know how it's all connected. We don't know how they're going to explain Doctor Doom. There's just so much we don't know about this movie. I hope that it's good. The trailer descriptions, describe, Steve Rogers and Thor, Captain America 4 fighting Doctor Doom, Gambler and Shang-Chi fighting. Spoiled, by the way, if you didn't know it's already. Some scenes of the X-Men, Loki. It is connecting, the X-Men, the original X-Men movies, to this current lineup of the MCU characters. And apparently people are saying Steve Rogers and Thor are the main characters in this movie, which is, Steve Rogers and Captain America. I'm excited for it. I want to see a trailer. Just so we can know more about it. I'll try to do a reaction or kind of a trailer breakdown. And maybe after the Star Wars episodes, I'll probably do like a Doomsday episode, like a Doomsday update. Or that or NFL, post-NFL draft thoughts review. I'll probably do an episode dedicated to reviewing the NFL draft. And then I'll do an episode dedicated to Doomsday. I don't know. Stay tuned to Instagram to find out updates regarding these episodes. And back to what I was saying about the trailer. It's just... it sounds so cool. And I keep on saying "and" a lot. And. I need to, not have so much crosswords. One thing that's interesting about this movie is how much though, because at CinemaCon they brought out only Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. None of the new actors. And they said it picks up right when Endgame left off, essentially. Obviously, there's going to be stuff with the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, the Wakandans, and all that connecting it all together. But I wonder how much of the multiverse saga for Marvel, how much it is going to be connected with each other. And how much because in Infinity War and Endgame, every single movie felt like it was all part of one story leading up to Endgame. And everything felt connected, and by watching it, you're able to understand the full story more and follow along. This one, because of all the changes they had to do with Kane, with Jonathan Majors and his legal troubles, and also for the fact that people just weren't really accepting, and they not accepting. That's not the right word I'm trying to find. A lot of people didn't like how they did Kane. Whereas after hearing what was, I thought I knew what they were doing, but then they say no, there was actually, it wasn't, they killed off King the Conqueror and Ant-Man. I thought, he's going to come back and that Wilson's going to be the bad guy. But apparently, no, the Council of Kanes is the bad guy. It was going to be the group of bad guys for Secret Wars and Kane Dynasty. I like the Council of Kanes, but they just introduced too silly. They're all played by Jonathan Majors. It just could have been done better. And if you're asking what's the Council of Kanes and what I'm talking about, I know I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent just then regarding that, but it is what it is. Lost Marvel stuff, and you'll see. And as I come to wrapping this episode, I know it's not as themed as the last one or the next 3 ones are going to be. I just want to kind of, again, I'm testing out this format, see how it goes. And this was, again, a little more random and stuff. But it was good. It was, always a good time to hop on here and talk. Next episode's going to be, celebrating Michael Jackson, the honor of the new movie coming out. And we're going to have 2 Star Wars episodes in a row, back to back. And that's all I got for you guys for this week. Magic Call on Whatnot. Magic Call. I know I'm mispronouncing that. But go check it out. It's a great, small town. Not small. I almost said small town business or small town resale. It's a great, Pokemon, account to follow if you need to, pick up new items. And this is, again, when reselling's done right, and it's not scalping, it's selling you cards that Pokemon doesn't even sell anymore. And to help, build your collection. And that's what that's about. So be sure to check that out. I know I'm missing that a lot, but it is definitely a lot of Pokemon stuff this episode. And if you like this episode, please subscribe, share it to your friends, follow us on Instagram, we post on your story, and suggestions on how the channel can grow. And definitely my goal is to try to see how big I can get this. Who knows? Maybe Marvel might see this and invite me out to Doomsday premiere. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff. Hope people invite me to do a lot of things, but sometimes you just get out of the mindset and just say stuff and see what happens. Either way, thank you guys so much for listening. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Oh, I almost knocked down my entire thing out. I knocked down a little Jesus on my little bookshelf of books and knickknacks. Things like that. I'm trying to move back. Why can't I move back? There we go. Alright, either way. I'm going to end the episode now because right now, again, I'm just rambling on random different stuff. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day. And goodbye.